Afolakemi, we can't hear you. Are you speaking? Hello? Okay. Try.
Hello, Shade, can you hear me?
Welcome back, Afolakemi. Can you hear us?
Internet.
All right. So you can just share your screen with us and begin. And your output is a bit low. The sound is
Is it better now? Hello? Shade, can you hear me?
I can hear you. It's better.
Okay. All right. I'm about sharing my screen now.
Okay.
Please let me know when you can see my screen. Thank
Yeah, we can see your
Can you see
screen,
my screen?
Afolakemi. Yeah, sure. It's still loading, but we can see.
My laptop. That's slow. Hmm. Okay. So our topic for discussion today is dealing with imposter syndrome. So start with what is imposter syndrome? This is an internal feeling of not being good or competent enough, and you feel you are one step away from being found out as a complete fraud. So the reason why I decided to talk on this topic is, yeah, I noticed that there are a lot of people that are probably struggling with this syndrome, that they don't even know that they have this syndrome. And an imposter syndrome affects different people. It's not necessarily just employees. It affects people at different levels in their career, either work career or business career. Like I said here, this can affect anyone irrespective of the status of or degree of their expertise. So some examples of thoughts and feelings and behaviors of people who possess this syndrome. They always have this I can't do this kind of thoughts, because imposter syndrome basically it's 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 associated with our mindset. It affects the way we think, the way we the thoughts we have towards things. So one of the examples of their thoughts is having the thinking, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that, or feeling like, okay, at this point I was able to do this and I could easily I could easily get away with it. Probably maybe when I try to do it the next time, maybe this person will notice that this girl can't really do this, or this other person notices that this guy can't really do this. Then also one of the behaviors is there is this anxiousness. They are always anxious, always on the edge, feeling like probably people are looking at them, people are expecting them to be able to do this. So that anxiousness is always there. Then also they overwork themselves. So based on my readings and findings, I noticed that people with this syndrome tend to do a lot of things at the same time. They don't give themselves space. They don't calm down. There is always um, overworking there. Mm. So the imposter syndrome has a cycle, and the first level is feeling like a fraud. Like I said, feeling, oh, they are not good enough, or they are not okay. Not that the skills are not there. They have these skills, but it's just a kind of thought that, oh, I'm not good enough. And the next level is why they start looking for a reason. It could be just a little mistake that they probably made somewhere that would give them that reasoning of thinking, oh, I don't think I'm good enough. And as you can see the arrow here, which goes to they create a reason. So for example, probably someone who is trying to get into, okay, what company should I use? If someone is trying to secure a job in a company, and part of the requirements is, let's say, probably they have about four different requirements that is needed, and out of the four they probably met three, and they feel, oh, because they don't have the certificate, they feel they won't be able to do that job. So as as the cycle as the cycle progresses, they are always like trying to push themselves to a target. Oh, so because I'm unable to achieve this, I don't have this. Like I think I need to have this for me to think or feel that I can do it. So that's where we have the cycle going to the work to achieving that target. Now, the next level on the cycle is they still feel like they're a fraud, but with hope. So they have this thinking that, okay, if I'm able to get this certificate, maybe I'll actually be good enough. If I'm able to get this degree, maybe I'll actually be good enough. And they strive, do everything possible to be able to achieve that target. And at the moment when they're able to achieve what they put their mind to, the target, or what they put their mind to achieving, at that moment they have the kind of pleasure, feeling okay. Now that I have this, I think, yes, I can do this, I can do that. But along the line, anything can happen that would sway them, and it begins to wear off them, and they start feeling like, oh, okay, am I really sure I can do this, even after they've been able to achieve the target that they set for themselves from the beginning. And once once the pleasure starts wearing off, they go back to level one again. So it's like a cycle that they keep going round and round and round. It doesn't just stop at when they've achieved the target. That is, if they've been unable to deal with this syndrome, they will keep going round and round this cycle. So people with imposter syndrome, what are the kind of issues they face? One of the issues that we can see here is perfectionism. They expect that everything they are doing is perfect. It is 100%. So when they don't get that 100%, even if it's 98.9 and their mind is on 100% and they don't get that 100%, that feeling can just come from wherever it is, and they feel again, oh, can I really do this? Am I really sure I can do it? I'm probably not good enough, just because it is not as perfect as they want it to be. Then also some of the issues that these people face is not being able to say no. So when things come up and they can't say no because they want to um they want to tackle whatever is brought them. So they're once they're unable to say no, it's like I said, it's one of the issues that these people face. Then also people with imposter syndrome, they're unable to access their confidence. So I think, based on my readings also, confidence is one of the issues that these people face a lot. Now, if they don't have enough confidence in them, it's enough for a person to feel like they are not good enough, because I don't think anyone that has so much confidence would feel like they're not good enough. Not like people would not at not like people would not have this feeling at some point in time, because I'm sure a lot of people, most of us here, have had I've had to face this at some point in our lives. I'm even sure there are lots of influential leaders that we know that they probably faced this at some point in their life, and in their lives rather, and they had to find ways to deal with this. Another issue again that people with this syndrome face is self-doubt, always doubting, I can't do this, I can't do that. So I remember some months back, myself and Emmanuel, after one of our quarterly PM meetings, we were just having a discussion concerning this, and okay, which will bring me to what can help. So we were having a discussion concerning this, and from his point of view, he feels that in a working environment, one of the ways persons with with this one of the ways that persons with this syndrome can come out of it is having their colleagues having to talk to their colleagues to evaluate them. So um like I said here, so what can help? The third bullet point is saying, my colleague said I was doing okay, and I do lots of good work. So when people with this get to receive evaluations from their colleagues, it's in a way helps them come out of this. Then also their mindset, like I said in the beginning, imposter syndrome is associated with our mindsets, with the way we think. So it's good to always have accurate thoughts like, oh, I can grow, I can become more skilled. Yes, I have this now, but once if I'm able to learn more, yes, I'll become more skilled. Thoughts like, oh, mistakes happen, because people with this syndrome, probably when they make a mistake, it's it there are so many thoughts going on in their mind, oh, this and that. So when they're able to have positive mindsets like mistakes happen and it's a chance to learn and improve, it's actually going to help people overcome this. Then also thoughts like, oh, I don't need to know it all. I think I know some things, and what I know is actually enough. I can learn more things. So just these are some of the thoughts that can help people out of this syndrome. So how do people develop this, and why does it matter? So because everyone comes from different backgrounds, different educational backgrounds, different family backgrounds. Some people have probably gone through some things while growing up in their family, and this has in a way affected their mindset and how they think. So one of the ways people have been able to develop this is from family background. It's possible that um, a person while growing up, the father was always saying um, things that doesn't even encourage the child. You are good for nothing. You can't even just to mop this floor. You can't even do it perfectly. Just to do this, you can't even lay your bed perfectly. So little things. That's some of the things that we don't know. That there are little things that many people are faced while growing up that already affected their mindset, and this syndrome is something that at the long run they have to deal with it. Also, another way people develop this syndrome is pressure to want to do this. Even peer pressure can actually make some people develop this syndrome, probably because your clique, everyone is doing this, is doing that, and you are still in a particular position. It's in a, it can make people feel this way, like I'm I'm not good enough. That then also being the first in the house, most firstborns, I'm sure even from tweets that we saw on Twitter and everything, how they're always saying firstborn this, firstborn that. There is there is there is this pressure on firstborns that they are supposed to they're supposed to be the leader in the home. They're supposed to be the one to show their siblings the way. And things when things don't go the way the person probably has planned, it in a way has an effect on this person's mindset because of the pressure of, oh, I'm the first one. So for why does it matter for us to understand um, imposter syndrome? It matters because some people don't even know that they are battling with this, and they are going through a lot of stress, emotional stress, psychological stress. So it's very important to be able to it's very important to be able to um what's the English to use? To be able not really diagnose. I think diagnose is stronger. Very important to be able to discover that, okay, this person has this syndrome. And also it matters because some people would not reach their full potential. Some people can even lose um, opportunities. So I want to give an example. Um, so some years ago, I I started learning how to make clothes. Not because I was so interested in it, not because I wanted a career out of it, but it was just fascinating having to see people sit down or stand and just cut. I give you material and you cut and bring something very beautiful out of it, make something very beautiful out of nothing. So I tried I wanted to understand how tailors, how fashion designers, how they thought. So I said, okay, I was going to enroll myself fashion school, but I couldn't do that. Then for I think for about a month, I just went to a roadside person. Like, let me just even see what these people what do they do. I want to understand what these people do. And I also felt again it's a skill that once I have, nobody can take away from me. For for the duration of that 1 month, I wasn't so consistent going to the shop because I had other things I was doing. So most of my learnings were from YouTube. I said, okay, cool. I'll just take some materials in the house, try to cut one or two things, go on YouTube, watch videos. Okay. I think this is not bad. Then I progressed. So whenever I just make something, I wear it to the office. And my colleagues are like, oh, I like this. I like you made this for you. And that was how my previous colleagues knew, okay, Folake is Folake makes clothes. But I never advertised, like I didn't think about it because I just felt and people learned all these things from YouTube. It's not like I went to a fashion school to then you just YouTube. They won't. YouTube will not give you or YouTube will not give you all fundamental information on fashion designing because that's what people use to make money. Then along the line, one of my colleagues, she was always pressing on, like, "Okay, I think you can do this thing well. I think you can do this well. Let's try to make some money out of it." They kept giving excuses that I can't really do this. This is just play. It's not like anything. Then she would give me a material, and even when I don't want to do it because I feel I might make a mistake. If I make a mistake and like for your material, I have to go to a quote to start looking for material who sent me a message. But she kept pressing on. So I started making some clothes for her, and she would tell her friends, "Oh, my friend made this, my friend made that." So like somebody said she wants to make this dress, and the first thing I'll just say is, "Babe, I'm not sure I can do this. So you know that it's from YouTube. I learned this thing. It's not like I know the fundamentals of all of this. It's just play and all of that." But she kept like trying to make me see reasons that if you're able to do this and people are saying this is nice, that means you are good enough. We even had an encounter when one day we were at Lekki and we were at a store. I think a white woman was passing, and the woman actually had to park her car, and she came to meet us, and she was asking her, "Who made this dress for you? This dress is really, really nice." She wants this person's contact. I was already running into the car when I heard that, and my friend dragged me out of the car. She just pushed me in front of the woman and said, "This is the person that made the dress." She was like, "This is a very, very nice dress. Can I have your contact?" And that was how I exchanged um I exchanged contact with the white woman just because of she saw that. So coming back to imposter syndrome, while while coming up with these slides, I had to reflect back and I noticed, okay, at that point in time, I I had that feeling of I'm not good enough. I probably don't have enough skills. Probably because of the way I learned the skill, and also because at that point my I had self doubt. At that point, confidence was not there. So it dawned on me that imposter syndrome isn't just something that happens in work environments. It's also something that happens in every other um, industry. It doesn't necessarily have to be at work. It can be in the business. It can be in anything. So going on to the next slide, which is the last one, dealing with imposter syndrome. So how should people deal with this? Like I said, many of us, I'm almost sure a number of us here at Kota and Kosh at some point in their lives encountered this, probably maybe starting a new job or even pursuing a degree, and at some point you feel, I don't think this, I don't think I can do this, I don't think I'm good enough for this, and all of that. So how should people with this deal with it? I think the first thing that everyone needs to understand is feelings are not facts. Because you feel this way, because I feel this way, doesn't mean that it is a fact. So if you're able to tell yourself that, okay, this feeling is not a fact, I feel that I cannot do this, does not mean I can do it. I know I can do it because other people have seen my skills and they know I can do it. So why am I feeling this way that I can't do it? Then also, um, the way we think, how we think, we need to change the way we think. We need to have to take out negative thoughts from our heads. We should have more positive thinking. Then also, there are lots of behavioral experiments out there. We can just take some quizzes just to even understand our behavior because this syndrome, it's both a psychological and and behavioral um, thing. Then also, we should learn to mind our language. It is okay. I want to just quote a Bible verse: "Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh." So It is how we think will determine what comes out of our mouth. So we need to mind our language also. Then we need to be brave and take actions. Only it's only by being brave and only by doing what you think, oh, I can't do. I'm not sure I can do it. It's only by doing that that you're able to establish the fact that, oh yes, I can do it. Because I passed level 7 and I'm scared that, oh, I can't do level 8. Doesn't mean that I can't do it until I take the action, until I take that level before before I can say, oh, I can't do it. Then also accept external validations. Just like I said earlier, evaluations from colleagues, even from bosses, supervisors, even friends. You can just tell them, oh, within this period, what and what have I done? How do you think I've done well? What do you think I can improve on? All of that. So we should learn to take validations from people. Also, sharing your feelings with others. But they say problem shared is a problem I've solved. Not like it will be solved, but at least once you share how you feel with other people, their validations would actually help with this. Then also understanding the roots of your feelings. There's one Yoruba, okay, I've forgotten how they say the Yoruba adage, but let's not go there. So understanding the roots. Why do you think I'm having this feeling? Why do you think this is coming at this point in time? So if you're able to understand the roots of this, it will be easier to tackle the the issue. Then also setting standard objectives. Sometimes some of us will set some some standards that we know that in the next few years we might not be able to achieve that. That alone is even enough to make someone feel like, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that, because we probably have already set some unimaginable standards for ourselves. And there are many more other ways people can deal with imposter syndrome. So I'll be closing this with a quote from Dennis Wakely, which says, "It's not what you are that holds you back, it's what you think you are not." So it's basically not, it's what you think you are not. Oh, I think I'm not this. I think I'm not that. That alone would hold someone back from achieving greatness. That alone would hold someone back from securing some opportunities that the person might never see again in the future. So it is not what you are that holds you back, but it's what you think you are not. Thank you very much.
That was good. Thank you. Thank you so much, Afolakemi. Questions? Are there any questions for those joining in remotely? I've added you to the stream, so you can as well just go ahead and ask your questions. Yeah, questions? Anybody? Okay, Ada has a question.
Kemi, hi. So mine is
Hi,
more
Ada.
like a comment, yeah, and not a question. Your slide, well done, but it's kind of, it was too tiny. I could barely see it with my glasses. Yeah. So maybe you might want to maybe improve on that next time.
Thank you.
Hi, Kemi. So my question is,
Hi.
what if the person does not want to live imposter syndrome? Would want to always have it because the person, you said that the person is always motivated, wants to be a perfectionist. What if the person does not want to stop being a perfectionist? What if the person does not want to always go to another person to find a solution to their problem? What if the person wants to be able to solve the problem, do their stuff, and just produce the results that they want, and still want people to see that they are making progress in their life and they are skilled and stuff? What if the person chooses to say, I don't want to, I
Okay.
don't want.
So so I'm not saying there is anything so wrong with wanting to achieve 100%, but the main thing is this person's thoughts, how the person feels about himself or herself. Does the person feel like I'm unable to achieve this? Perfectionism is just one of the issues that these people face. It's not everyone would have that as an issue. It might not be an issue to someone else, but the main bone of contention is how this person feels. Does this person feel like I'm a fraud? Does this person feel like, okay, I can't really do this, but let me just make people think, oh, people probably find out that this is how I am. So it is not about the perfectionism, and it's about the person's thoughts, the person's mindset.
Yeah, so I just want to add one more stuff to what Afolakemi said. So all those good things about all those things that seem good about being an imposter or having the imposter syndrome, you can actually do those things without actually having imposter syndrome. Exactly. So you can decide to work and ensure that you put 100% effort and also work. Okay, yeah, exactly like that. Wadud has a question.
Can I add to what you just said, Shade? Thank you.
Okay.
So I was going. Well done, Falakemi. I think the presentation was a good one. So I was going to say that, like Falashade said, there is a difference between feeling like a fraud, which is what imposter syndrome is. There's a difference between that and wanting to improve. So wanting to improve and then saying, I think some of those attributes that Falakemi listed. I mean, you can. It's good to take on challenges. It's good to be very frank with oneself and know that, hey, you're not doing well in this area. You know, you can actually improve on it without feeling like you're fraudulent or so and all. And I think, like from Falakemi's presentation, the ultimate is also knowing that, see, I, I am enough. I don't think we'll ever reach that point where one will be 100% perfect, right? I think we just need to get to that point where, you know, we see ourselves as enough, like with or without the add-ons and all, and then we strive towards improvement, challenging ourselves, you know, without exactly thinking that you are a fraud, you will soon be discovered, and then, you know, something's going to happen. Etc. Yeah.
Thank
So I have,
you. But I guess we can continue. She probably dropped off the call.
oh, okay. Um,
Okay.
my question. So who wants to have a question?
Anybody that can answer it. Many people will join.
Okay,
Hold
so
on.
I've learned that it's slippery slope. When a person only depends on other people's validation because before they can feel that they're making progress in their lives. Because if you're having the syndrome and if you're always feeling like you're an imposter and you're always trying to get people to validate that making progress in your career, I think a person might end up being kind of that for their whole life, and it's not a good thing. So, how else can one overcome this imposter syndrome apart from having to depend on other people's approval and other people's what's the word now? Other
Validation.
people's opinion that validation that they're making progress in their life, because I don't think that's a very good way to measure progress in career. I mean, people have their own standards. They may not be your standards, and you shouldn't allow that their own definition of their own standards to define your own level and stuff. How I communicated properly.
Jerry, let me answer your question, and maybe others can also answer. So, I mean, what you said is actually very profound. I think validation should be mostly internal, and of course, it can be extreme for some people. Such that they they are so pumped up within that they appear to be very proud and arrogant outside. I think there can be a balance, right? I think the internal validation is very, very important where you know that, see, I am enough. So I recently read a book, and I think if you can read the book, fine, Gift of Imperfection by a researcher. I think she's a professor also, Dr. Brené Brown. And then she was talking about, this same thing, about how that, see, being always looking for external validation, always looking for 100%. Nobody is 100% perfect. Now, number one, you need to see yourself as I'm good, I'm all right, I'm enough, right? While striving for improvement. And I think once one gets to that point where you see yourself as being sufficient, where you validate your own self first, the way you respond to failures will be different. In fact, when you fail, you'll be laughing at yourself. You said you know that you can do this better. When people come with criticism, the way you handle it will be better because you know that, see, every other thing is an addition, right? The way you handle, like it's you'll be more mindful, right? So the book is also around mindfulness and around living wholeheartedly. Not like you live such that you won't care about what people say. You will live and then you care about what people say, but you sieve things, and even when nobody is validating you, you know that you are enough. And I think that's one of the reasons why some people commit suicide, right? Because there will always be mistakes. What if you get to that point, so you've built the next SpaceX and then nobody is telling you that you're good? Some people can go into serious depression and they can commit suicide. You are putting in your best, always putting in, spending extra hours, having sleepless nights, etc. And nobody is saying, "Oh, Nifemi, you're good." You're not getting the kind of attention, the kind of recommendation, or you're not even getting the promotion. All those things that you need. People, you're not getting the likes, the following on Twitter or on social media. So you first need to see yourself as 100% as you are today, without all the skills that you know that you need to acquire. You're already good. You're enough. And that's, I mean, if we do not have any value to offer, we won't be where we are today. And every other thing that we also know that while I know that Nifemi is good and enough, sufficient, today, I know that, okay, I also need to improve. There is room for improvement. And while I am improving, if I make mistakes, just see it as a learning point, laugh at yourself and move on. Thank you, Mano.
Thank you,
Yes,
Nife.
so yeah, that's my
Um,
contribution.
okay. So I want to quick chip something in. Not an answer, just a contribution, and that would be even if we don't ask for, even if a person does not ask for validation, their managers and those that they work with, or rather those that mostly review their work should give words of encouragement and like some thumbs up, or like an acknowledgement to their subordinates or to their colleagues to help what's the word now, to help them know that okay, this is why did it being recognized, and not just like it's lost in the in the middle of this whole big company. I don't understand. So just the fact that what they're um, yeah, I think when you know that the feeling of being an imposter would disappear gradually. Yeah, so it is not the same thing as validation. It's just like thumbs up or what you're doing is recognized, and then it's not just lost in real corporate corporate system. Yeah, that's my contribution.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone. Um, in the absence of any other questions or comments, I think we can call it a day.